Hey guys.
Alright, we're here today to do the latest from Orbit Culture carvings. Alright, that's all I gotta say.
That's all you're gonna say.
I mean, it's Orbit Culture. What am I gonna say to people watching this video that they haven't heard before?
That's true.
It's not like
they kind of speak for itself.
Yeah. Orbit Culture, that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
You know, so like there's no point on wasting any valuable time here. Let's use our time wisely for the end of the video when we're gonna dissect this song. Alright? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
My name is
I could have gone for a little bit more.
I could have gone for seconds on this. These guys, it's like with every song,
they're one-upping.
They one up the previous track. It's like I don't even say that they're moving the bar. They like
They are the bar.
They are the bar. They just like every song is better than the previous.
And I was thinking halfway through the song, I'm like, we're gonna get some clean vocals, and when that happens,
oh, it's nice to see James Hetfield come in for a
yeah.
little bit.
I was gonna say when that happens, it's gonna be glorious.
Papa Het came in. Let me just. I really have to emphasize this. There's not many bands out there that can really pull off the fact that every track is better than the previous track.
Every track is a banger.
How is that? I honestly think that these guys are time travelers, right? So this is what happened. The guys from Morbid Culture, they traveled through time and they created songs and they released those songs. And then they rated the quality of the songs based on what people thought about them. Then they traveled again with all the songs already rated. And now they're releasing on the order of which the people have rated it in the previous time zone or universe or whatever the fuck. It's the only. I know that explanation is not even reasonable, but that's the only reasonable explanation on how every song.
Because there hasn't been a song.
It's better than the next one.
There hasn't been a song where it's like.
Yeah, there was kind of a sidestep.
Or it's weaker than the other songs.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
With them, there's no weak link. There's no weak link at all. A song may one up the other one, but that's just because it came after and was also really, really good. It's not like it's better than the other song. They're all on their own oasis. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. They're all on their own big oasis. That's where all of the songs go. None of them are falling behind in any way.
Yeah, I mean, there's songs that are better, which is the newest one is always better.
But that's just because it's the newest one. That's the only reason why.
It's not too far ahead of the other ones. But they keep upping themselves. Maybe it's the fact that it's the new one,
exactly,
and it feels that way. Maybe
I do feel like there's that's the thing. It's just because it's the newest one we think it's better, but they're all
equally good.
They're all equally good, and none of them are falling behind at all.
Yeah, maybe you're right about that. Maybe it's the fact that it's the newest one. You're like, this is the greatest one. Then they release another one.
Because I think if I go back and I listen to the last one, Fireflies. The last single, yeah. I bet you if I go listen to that one and I listen to this one side by side, I'm not going to be like, one of them is completely better than the other one.
No, they're probably like kind of equally good.
They're equally amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's the fact that it's just the newest one.
But still.
What else can we say? This one. Now, having said all of that, this one felt a little bit more groovy.
This had a lot more groove to it. Yeah.
This one felt a little bit more groovy, and because of that, this is where my mind went during this song. First of all, I like the little bit of a roots feel there, the tribal in the forest, headbanging and whatever. I like that vibe. But this song to me was groovier, not more. It was groovier than the previous track. Perhaps one of their grooviest tracks that they've released lately. I just felt like there was a lot more groove. It just had more of an infusion of it into the musical aspect of the track. But even the way the harsh vocals were coming across, and then the way the clean vocals came in, it just made the song feel more bouncy. It made the song feel more groovier. And when you have a song that's groovier, it tries to be, or it tends to be, or to become a little bit more catchy. And I think that's one of the beauties about this track, because you're always waiting for him to say carvings. The first time that you hear it, it sets the tone for how the next part of the song is going to go. So when you start to reach that point where you know carvings is coming, it starts to like fucking builds you up. You start to get excited. So I felt that this is a groovier track. And because I felt like this was a groovier track, and because I felt that the harsh vocals added a little bit to that grooviness of the track, and this is what I'm going to say is not uncharted territories for them, because they've done covers. They did that cover of Metallica. I would absolutely love to see these guys do a cover of Lamb of God. I would love it. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't know. But considering how this song sounds, the bounce that it has, the heaviness that it carries, and at the same time the underlining grooviness that it holds, I would die to see an Orbit Culture infused Lamb of God song.
I can see that.
Like Redneck or Late to Rest, any of those. You know. Any of those. I mean, Lamb of God also doesn't have any bad songs, so you can pretty much just pick any song you want, and you're not gonna fall flat on your face. I just feel like this track kind of opened my appetite. I know they have an EP coming out. I don't think there's a cover on the EP. It's probably going to be just these two songs plus maybe another 2 songs. I don't know how many songs are on the EP. I would assume maybe 3 or 4. That's what I'm thinking. So these 2 that they've released plus probably maybe 1 more, 2 more. But for that Japanese edition, you always need to put something extra.
You always need to put something extra.
Something extra. Come on, guys. A Lamb of God cover, I think would be so cool to see their own take on a Lamb of God song. Like I said, pick any song. There's no bad songs from Lamb of God. I just got the Lamb of God vibes from this track. I really did. I felt like it was groovier. I felt like the vocals had a little bit more groove in them as well. The whole song felt a little bit more bouncy. Even though it was super heavy, it just felt different to me. It just felt like it had a little bit more of a hookiness to it. And my mind went into Lamb of God, and I felt like these guys doing a Lamb of God cover would be absolutely magnificent. So maybe one day in the future, who knows?
Maybe.
One more thing I want to say. I don't know if you want to add anything. You want to add anything before my last thing that I want to add?
No.
So the other thing I want to add to this conversation here is that whenever we do an Orbit Culture video, we always talk about 2 things. One, the vocals, and we always bring James Hetfield into the mix. And then the other thing we always talk about is the guitars, how good they sound, how thick they are, how chunky they are. In this track, specifically in this song, very chunky, which that's some of the grooviness is coming from that. So we always talk about that, and I feel like we always forget something. And on this track, from the get-go, I was like, okay, as soon as we stop the video and we're gonna break it down in our own very peculiar way, there's one thing that we can't forget to mention, and that is the drummer. The drums on this track were outstanding. A lot of the grooviness always is also coming on this song from the way the drums sound.
But it had a lot of thickness to it.
It had a little bit of a tribal feel to it.
Because there was also the tribal drum too.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a tribal feel into the way they sounded. But I love the how compact they are, and at the same time when they expand, the drum sound is really filling all the gaps. It doesn't have that flat, and I'm not saying that it had that in previous songs because that's not really their DNA, but I love the drum sound on this specific track. I love the execution because I just like when the drums have life in them. Unless you're a black metal band, then I don't mind if they're a little bit more flat in the sound.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like that flat sound, because that's kind of what you need. You need that grittiness. But for this band, for their sound, specifically on this track, I just love every time you would hear the drums, it's almost like your chest is pounding at the same time.
That thick tribal.
That thick sound that just makes your shirt like move.
Yeah, vibrate.
Vibrate with it. I love it. It just feels like it's alive. It feels like it's the heartbeat of the track. It feels like it has power, has intensity, it has aggression, and it builds this incredible foundation for then you to put the guitars on top, the bass, and then do what you got to do with the vocals. But if you don't have that drum sound that propels, it's like jolting the track, and then what comes after the jolt is everything else that's on top of it. I just felt it. I felt it from the beginning of the song all the way to the end, and it's something that I always felt that way. This song, I think, is a little bit more noticeable. And this song I felt like is a little bit more noticeable overall, but it's something that we always forget to mention how good the drums are on Orbit Culture, and I think that needs to be said. Because we always, guitars, vocalist.
We never go to the drums.
Man, we never go to the bass player. Poor guy.
Poor guy. I mean,
poor guy.
We're not going to go to him now.
No. We're going to leave that for another video.
Yeah.
Poor dude. Listen, we love you.
Yeah.
You're doing great things. Keep doing them. Keep carrying that flag. Make sure they don't turn it down. Make sure the mix on this EP is not like the mix on the Injustice for All, and you'll be fine. Because that is one of the greatest bass mixes of all time. But, you can always do better.
Yeah.
Always strive to do better. All right, anything else you want to add to this Orbit Culture video?
I think we already covered everything.
I think we've covered everything. This was a glorious song, glorious video. These guys, unbelievable. Right now, it's going to be hard to find a band as talented, as good, as consistent.
Consistent, yeah.
As consistent as these guys are with their music. All right, guys, this is it for today. Come back tomorrow. We'll have another video for you. See ya.
See ya.